What's going on? My name is Carlo Balagasse,
I'm Christian Alvarez.
and you're listening to the Behind the Strength podcast, where we help strengthen your health, wealth, and peace of mind, baby.
Do you ever feel like you're not good enough? Are you constantly comparing yourself to others? Do you ever feel like you're not rich enough? You're not successful enough?
You're not fit enough?
You're not fit enough. Now, just to let you know, you're not alone. Because a lot, and I'm talking thousands and thousands of people out there, feel this way every single day.
And if you feel this way, and we felt this way a lot of times in our lives.
Many times. Then
This
you should
podcast,
be listening to this.
This podcast is for you. We're going to help you out. We've been through this many, many times, and we thankfully got out of it. It is a steep slope. The whole comparing yourself thing has been around millions of years. It's just got worse.
Now, we get a lot of these ads that pop up. You get websites that you go on, social media feeds, and it all has these people ripped to shreds, abs out there. You know, she's got the hippest butt blaster that's being sold with the perked up booty, and you got the guys with the jacked arms, and you think that they got there overnight. And so you see yourself and you think to yourself, man, I'm working hard. I'm eating clean. I'm trying. Why don't I look like this? Right? Or you're seeing these guys post up vehicles and, new homes and vacations. And you're thinking to yourself, man, I work hard. I work damn hard. And how come I'm not doing that?
Yeah.
I'm 35. They're 25. Why don't I have that life? We're talking to you today. If you have these thoughts, if you have anything similar to these thoughts, one that compares yourself to others.
And you're starting to doubt yourself and your successes in your life and your achievements.
And essentially you're going on a downward spiral and you don't even know it, but you're headed for somewhere bad.
And ultimately you start stopping, you start doubting yourself. Your success dwindles, your achievement and your progress starts to dwindle because you get discouraged. You feel like it's never going to be enough, that you've been trying so hard, yet it's not comparable to these people's lives.
Just to put things into perspective, there's really two ways you can look at something. There's two ways that different people look at it. There's the person that may look at success or what they define as success. Be it somebody's wealthy or somebody's very fit and they got abdominals, or somebody's very famous and popular. And they look at it and there's a feeling of jealousy and envy that's inside them.
Yeah.
And almost turning into hatred.
Yes.
And they're very much like, why don't I have that? And why can't I do that? Why can't I be that person? But there's a second way to look at it, and you're seeing this, and you say, instead of saying, why can't I, you say, how can I?
Yes. And
that is what we are trying to get you to realize today. Where are you at? If you are in the former way of thinking, I suggest you start doing the action steps that we're going to give you today to start getting to the latter form of thinking. Because instead of saying, why can't I, your language should be more so, how can I?
Yeah, and looking at these things as a form of inspiration, and not putting in the terms of, oh, I can never get there, or oh, I can't do that.
1,000%.
And then you start giving yourself reasons. Oh, you know what? I'm big boned. I can't be like that then. Or I come from this neighborhood. I will never achieve that. I can't do that now. I think everything is in perspective. I think that's the key word of today, is having a sense of perspective. These things will start leading into such negative things like depression.
Of course.
Right? Anxiety.
Depression.
Apparently, like the cases of depression have skyrocketed.
Well, let's think about the many eating disorders or forms of eating disorders and how many people suffer from stuff like that. And it all stems from how one perceives themselves.
Yes.
And furthermore, how one perceives themselves in comparison to their environment around them.
Put it this way, the richest person in the world, Jeff Bezos, even before he became a multi-billionaire where he is now, when his company was valued at $1 billion, I think, or IPO'd, he was still driving an old-ass car.
Yep.
You get what I mean? And
Yeah.
he was one of the richest people on planet at that point. So if a guy who's super wealthy has a B in the end of his assets, and he's driving an old beat up car, I don't think if you're making 100,000, 150,000, you know, and you're not where you need to be financially, you're not financially free, and you're wasting your money on toys because of vanity, you got to really check yourself, man. You have to check yourself, because now, you know, as fast as you're going to gain that to get there, you're going to lose it all because of the toys that you're trying to buy.
To really enjoy the things that you're doing and to enjoy the process of it, that's what a lot of successful people do. They don't think about what they're doing. They're just too busy friggin' doing it.
Yeah, they're not, you know, in reality, not everybody or majority of the public they don't have photographers or videographers following them around, or another person to take pictures of their successes and how you know, and the best moments of their life. You know, there's a lot of people who are successful, who are doing things, who are fit, who are actually just working their asses off, or too busy helping other people get fit. I mean, it's a social media day these days.
It is.
Yes, there is personal branding and stuff like that, which makes sense. But you also have to show both sides of the coin. Like,
the most successful people are the ones that don't talk. They don't talk. Because I remember back in the bodybuilding days and even now in competitive days, you'll always see the people that come to the back room. As soon as they get there, shirts off, pants down, they're in their posing trunks, they're ready to go pumping it up, breathing heavy, and they're doing that for hours. And now some of the most winningest people I know, Nelson De Silva being one of them, always first and overall, this guy would walk in, comes in fashionably late, puts on a hoodie and track pants. The only time that guy goes to strip down is when they say, okay, let's weigh in, you're going up on stage in 5 minutes. He didn't even need to pump. He was already pumped. He came ready.
So he was covered the whole time.
He was covered. He was ready. He wasn't
focused,
going around breathing, huffing and puffing like an idiot.
Yeah, flexing so everybody could see.
Trying to get, you know, the whole mental game going. No, his mental game was on. He wasn't even there anymore. In his mind, he already had a win. Yeah. He already won the trophy. He was already holding the trophy. He just showed up.
And
literally.
That's
the mindset of a true winner, of a true doer.
You find that everywhere.
What Tim Grover calls a closer. That is, you have to remember, guys, you see Michael Jordan make that last, you know, game-winning shot. You see Kobe Bryant do. You see LeBron James do. You don't see the thousands of jump shots they throw up every day. You don't see the many suicides they run on that ball court on a daily basis. Yeah. Or Tom Brady make the most winningest pass. How many times has he threw that pass or had those running backs and those wide receivers run those routes? Many, many times. And even all the more when they're sleeping, they're still running those routes in their mind. They're still running those plays in their mind. It's ingrained in them. Just like a martial artist, you know. Yeah. You never won that Muay Thai championship, or you never won a black belt, tournament just by actually showing up one day. It was in your head already. Yeah. You had already won by the time you got there. Yeah. Because you've done it too many times.
Millions and millions.
Whatever this guy throws at me, forget it. It's over.
I already experienced and encountered it. I already have a plan for that.
Experienced it.
Yeah.
So the point that I'm trying to make here is the people who are closing, the people who are winning, the people who are actually doing shit, don't give a fuck. They're too busy doing shit. They're too busy in the gym grinding. They're too busy in the kitchen weighing out their food.
And I think to add to that, I think what your point is too. There's a second point there, is that all these people who had all these high successes, you don't know about all the hard work and bullshit that they've gone through. Just like in social media or whatever, you see all these successes, you see all these people that, you know, have the nice, you see the end result of all these things, but you're not seeing all the hard work and failures and disappointments and their own anxieties and their own fears that are portrayed on these things.
Yes.
So never forget that nobody is flawless. There is nobody that succeed perfectly without, you know, friction, without backlash, without haters, without there's no such thing as a perfect life. And you have to understand that, you know, everyone's going to show you what they want to show you. They're only going to post their best moments. The good thing about stories now is that people are getting exposed for their best moments now, that their life has to be more out there if they're going to get fanship, which is amazing. But even still, you could still kind of stage that too. So, you know, having that perspective that, a lot of people who have achieved these things that you see, you're not seeing the behind the scenes, man.
Man, let me tell you this quick story here. I know you have a really good story, so I really want to get to that. But I have a friend that comes here, and that I treat. He's an MMA fighter, and he's undefeated in MMA.
Wow.
Undefeated.
Wow.
Fantastic.
That's hard to do in MMA.
He's undefeated so far, right?
Yeah.
And he's just turned pro. So now he goes and fights a kickboxing match. He lost. He broke his arm. The only thing he could say to me after, I asked him, I said, how'd it go? He goes, hey, I lost. And he goes, at the end of the day, and how he got himself over this, life is not a highlight reel.
Ooh.
He goes, Christian, life's not a highlight reel. He goes, that wasn't picture perfect at all. Now, he's had knockouts, picture perfect knockouts, picture perfect submissions, everything. It was great, highlight reel material.
Yeah.
But he goes, life is not a, he goes, but I guarantee you, he goes, that wasn't much of a highlight reel for me when the guy kicked my arm and I saw, you see it in the video snap.
That humbles you real fast.
Yeah, and you see your head down and the guy's arm is raised beside you. And literally, that's considered a knockout.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
you
a
got
tough
knocked
one, man.
the fuck
That's
out.
that's a tough one. How did you? Oh, somebody broke my arm.
You
by
didn't consciously
kicking me.
knocked out. You just got
That's
knocked
tough.
out. You
That's
just
tough.
couldn't fight anymore. That's a knockout.
Yeah.
So the way he accepted it, and a lot of it is, guys, remember, life is not a highlight reel. You have to practice and fail over and over before you get to the success and to the highlight reel. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit more about your experiences, because I'm sure a lot of people can benefit from your story. Can you?
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I went through a severe, a serious time where I wanted to get super massive. I think that stemmed from a time where multiple failed relationships. I was naturally small.
Wow, what was your driving force? You just wanted to get big, eh?
Well, yeah, because you start feeling inadequate. It's like, man, failed relationship. Is it? You have to start thinking, is it me? I need to improve myself. When I get jacked and ripped, I'm gonna have all these people, start noticing me. I'm gonna have all the girls and stuff like that. So in my early 20s, what I went through is that I was in the gym literally 7 days a week.
Yeah,
like
you're huge.
7 days a week. I went up to 200 pounds. I was training every day. I was eating pounds and pounds of meat because that's what it was, right? Like eating chicken breast, steak, brown rice, sweet potato,
all that,
broccoli, all that shit, man. Like heavy, like tubs and tubs of protein, creatine, jacked,
pre-workouts.
Yeah, pre-workouts back in the day. Creatine, when it was first around, it killed my fucking
Purple
stomach.
K, man.
Yeah, man. So, I went through all that, and I actually started to develop this thing called muscular dysmorphia. And, I didn't realize it until like the very end that I had it, and it was really bad. For those who don't know.
Can you touch base on that, please?
So the muscular dysmorphia is a subtype of the obsessive mental disorder, body dysmorphic disorder. It's often also grouped with eating disorders. Muscle dysmorphia is the opposite of anorexia nervosa. People with this disorder obsess about being small and underdeveloped. They worry that they are too little and too frail. So this is a mental disorder, and I had this severely, right? Because I felt like I was too small. My brother, when we were growing up, he always beat on me, and he was bigger than me. So, that feeling of inadequacy and stuff like that, like, and I never told anybody this. Actually, like, I went through severe depression, man. Like,
wow.
Like, there's days where I didn't want to go out, where like I felt like,
and you were you were 200 pounds,
and I was 200 pounds. I was actually,
but you were
jacked.
feeling that like you were you still felt inadequate.
And I think that's the most dangerous part of the toughest part of depression, or that type of depression, is because I was functional, and is the type that you feel like, oh, everything's okay.
Everything's
okay.
That you're. But that's what most people are going through, is functional shit.
Yeah.
That they just go through every day. They don't realize they have it.
Yeah, man.
Or they choose not to address that they have it. And these things are not easy to talk about. Let's get that straight.
My mom actually fucking sat me down like, yo, you have a problem. Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like,
and she doesn't get serious very often.
No, my mom lets me do whatever the hell I want.
She doesn't get serious very often. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my skin was starting to get jaundice and all that stuff, dude.
Oh,
like, they were worried about me, and rightfully. And at that time, I was like, "What are you talking about, Mom? Like, everything's fine. Like, look, I'm jacked." I'm like, no. And she's like,
but it has nothing to do with jacked.
Like, your energy, like you're starting to become different and stuff like that. So I was like, F it, whatever. And I started getting ripped at that point, and I was jacked and ripped. And I was like, man, now I'm okay. I'm here. I'm in the promised land. And, you know, I would walk around, and you know the crazy thing, after all those hours, after all those years, I literally was in the gym for 2 years straight. There's 1 year I was like fully fucking celibate. I didn't talk to anybody, whatever.
Yeah, this was your life.
Yeah, this was my life, dude. Like my life, like you said, like,
you get succumbed by it. Like this.
I was, hoodie, always hoodies, big baggy hoodies in the gym. I'm not going to show my package yet, right? Back in the day.
Of course.
Yeah, like 2 years straight lifting heavy ass weight, went up to 200 pounds. Got ripped for the summer, and there was a big realization this will kind of change my life. The only looks I got were from dudes. Yo, and that changed my fucking life.
That's like the high-end car, elite car status type of thing.
Yeah, it's like you're having a Lamborghini. The only people that look at you are dudes.
Yeah, because the girls don't understand, the women don't understand what it is.
You know there was the weirdest fucking thing in the world. Every single time.
Why was that though?
Dude, I walked around with, say, a tank top or even shirtless.
Of course.
I go, yo, the guys would be like, yo, you're jacked, bro. That's sick. Keep that up. I would get looks from girls like, oh, that's like, you know, the intimidation.
That's a little much.
Dude. And
you get it. You do, for sure. I've gotten that.
Dude, that gave me the wake-up call that I needed to kind of snap out of it. Like, holy shit, everything that I thought, like, you know, my value.
For you?
You know, all those TV shows, all those, you know, cartoons of jack guys always getting the girls. You know, the magazines back in the day were the social media. Like, oh my God, look at all these jack guys who are getting girls all the time.
Yes, of course.
Yo, women didn't like that. And I had a conversation with a few women like, yo, this is what's happening to me. I try to talk to girls and they kind of don't like me. They give me, you know, pushback. And
yes.
Like, dude, we like guys who are, you know, have some muscle, but we also want body fat. Like, we you know, we want to have fun with somebody. And somebody who is, you know, always ripped, always jacked, they feel like they never could have fun because they're always, you know, dieting. You know, they never want to do anything. They're so strict. And they're also intimidated, like, hey, all these girls are going to try to talk to you.
Of course.
So they have their own internal fears.
For sure.
So I'm like, holy shit, like everything that I thought, you know, because you always think in your head, oh, I'm going to party, all these girls are going to come talk to me, blah, blah, blah.
No, and it's the other way around. They actually look at you and they move.
They run away.
They're very intimidated.
Because regardless, like, listen, I'm a nice guy. I'm fucking harmless.
But they don't know that.
Yeah, they don't know that. I'm automatically put in a category of I'm a douchebag player. That's the biggest. Oh, you're a player, aren't you? I'm like, what? You don't even know me. But it's perception, right? It's perception. The guy, if you see a young, good-looking guy in a Lamborghini, shit, that guy's a player. He wants to, you know, always talk to chicks, even though maybe he's freaking married or maybe he, you know what I mean? Like he has a long-term relationship with somebody already and he's 100%, you know, committed, and you don't know that. So I got put in that category, but that was the best thing that happened in my life because that gave me a different perspective. I'm like, okay, life doesn't have to be that serious. There is no perfect picture that, you know, because that picture of that lifestyle that you think that you want or think that's going to happen is going to actually slap you in your face because it's not there.
Yes, of course.
And for me to be super obsessed and hold on to that person in me to the point that I was fucking depressed, and to see the outcome of that and you know, like you get to the top of a mountain and you realize that mountain is fucking garbage. It's shit. There's like the top wasn't even worth the climb.
Yes, exactly.
That's exactly what happened to me. And that's why I try to preach to everybody. You know, loving yourself. Yes, loving yourself means, you know, loving yourself, accepting who you are at the moment, but also loving yourself means that you love yourself enough to always improve. Right? Yes. But loving yourself also enough to be like, to know when it's enough for you. Self-acceptance and knowing that it's okay not to be perfect.
Yes.
But to chase always betterment.
I was going to say, so guys, it's okay to be where you're at. As long as you're fucking giving it your all.
And as long as you're going healthy, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with having a little body fat. That's fine.
Yeah, you're going at it healthy with your fitness program. You're going at business in a non-crooked way, and it's honest, and it stands for something. And you know, as long as you're doing things with good intention, man, it's okay to be where you're at because everybody's got a different stage of development. Everybody's got you know, different speeds of development, and everybody's life is just made to be different. So don't compare yourself to others, right? I mean,
and a big realization is like, yo, just because you're fit doesn't mean that people are going to like you.
Oh yeah.
Like just because if you're a dick, you need to fix that. Lose that body fat.
Yeah, if you're
being a dick.
if you're an asshole before you got fit, believe me, you're gonna be a bigger asshole.
Worse.
You're gonna be a worse asshole when you're even fitter.
Yeah, and even when you're a nice person, you know, people are gonna make you look like you're an asshole because you look a certain way. And by the way, I mean it's different now because people are accepting of being jacked now and stuff like that. Being fit. Remember, I'm talking about back in the day, man. Early 2000s, nobody it was still intimidating for a lot of women to be around jacked guys. Of course, even right? Muscles. Yeah. So it might change now, but I don't think it changed.
It hasn't changed that different.
No, it hasn't.
Human nature hasn't changed that different.
No.
You know, you guys got to remember, especially for those of you who are trying to get fit, the ones that we see in the ads, the ones that we see on stage, the ones that we see in these forums, this is their job. A lot of them, yes, I'm going to put it out there, are on performance enhancers.
Yep.
It's part of their job.
Tell you that right now.
I'm not going to say it's a negative or it's a positive thing. I'm saying it's part of the industry.
Yes. Marketing.
Number two, their diets are like that for a reason. It's like that. That is the way they eat. It's not a diet. It's the way they eat. It's their nutritional regime on a daily basis. Their lifestyle of training. That's all they do. They're not out partying and doing all that. They are training. They're eating. They're sleeping. That's what they do. Especially when they're in photo shoot competition mode. Believe me, your life can't compare to that. If you're working a 9 to 5 and you're only getting to the gym 2 or 3 times a week, it's cool not to look like that person.
You don't need to look like that. A normal human being cannot survive on 4% body fat their whole life.
On a regular daily basis.
I'm telling you that right now. Anything that you, listen to me. Listen to us right now. The people that you see on stage prep and all that stuff, they are super shredded. They are actually unhealthy. Okay? I know that blows your mind right now, but that's actually unhealthy.
Their insides are definitely unhealthy.
Exactly. Anybody who has done show prep could tell you that you cannot sustain that physique for a long period of time. They carb load and then they take it out. There's a whole science behind looking like that for a period of time.
Yes.
So do not aim to look like that forever. It's impossible. And you do not want to do that. A lot of people who actually enjoy social dynamics, being social with other people, and that they value that, sometimes maybe you won't be super shredded, but your abs will still show. That's fine. It's okay. You don't need to be perfect. Get that out of your head that you need to be perfect because you're not perfect, nor you should ever hold yourself to that freaking, standard.
Let's talk about now how to reverse that mindset. So I'm feeling all this. I mean, everybody that's listened this far into this can pretty much relate to us at some level. You don't have to be manic depressive. You don't have to be at your lowest low in life. But at some point, somewhere deep inside you, you can relate to one or two of the things that we've spoken about today. So if you're there, or if you are anywhere near in that realm, what do we do? Okay, what is our plan?
My number one thing is this. In life or whatever, I always have establish 2 places, and they're actually physical places. A place of gratitude and a place of, what's that called again? Perspective. And inspiration. So gratitude, perspective, and a place of inspiration. So we used to do this when we first started the gym or business. When we felt like we had nothing and we were low, we would go to a place that would give us perspective. For me, I would go to Flemington Park. I was born in Philippines, born in a poor little village in Philippines. And then we moved over in '89 to Flemington Park, Don Mills, Eglinton. Anybody who knows the Toronto area, Flemington Park ain't paradise. It's actually one of the most ghetto places, ghetto neighborhoods in the GTA.
Yes.
So, growing up there for most of my life and then coming here, I would always go back there. I would always go back to my elementary school, my building, my friend's Jess building, St. Dennis, and really sit there for a long period of time and really just meditate and look around. I'm like, yo, we've come from this. This is where we've come from. Nothing is ever going to be as bad as this.
And that's a place of gratitude now. It's thanking the world and the whatever's around you for what you have. The people that you have in your life around you for a reason. You got to be thankful for that. You got to be grateful for the fact that you can get up and fucking breathe in the morning. You can walk around. I kid you not. Because there's many people that wish they could get out of a hospital bed that are permanently there.
Absolutely. Amen.
Yeah. Some people can't get up to go use the toilet on their own. Be thankful for that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
If you're currently trying to get fit, If you're currently trying to open a business, if you're currently doing anything, you should be pretty thankful for that. And that's where a place of gratitude comes from. I don't mean some fake ass crap of saying, oh, thank you, God, thank you, world. I mean, you actually feel good for what you have.
Yeah.
Because you know you've put the work in to get your life to where it's at. You know that you're going to better places because you have a plan and you're constantly working at it.
So number 2, what I always do is I turn off all stimuluses, social media. I don't look at magazines. I turn off TV. I turn off my computer for a good period of time, at least an hour. And I do this on a weekly basis. And I sit down and actually visualize what kind of life that I want to live, what kind of life that matters to me, that serves me a sense of purpose. And I write it down. And I kind of always keep check on it, always look at it, because that refocuses now your life and your vision back onto you, right? Because right now we always focus on, oh, this guy has better stuff than this. He has a hotter, smarter girlfriend. Oh, this mother does this and it's always perfect. Why can't I be a good mother or father?
Yep.
And we don't look at where we're at right now, where we want to go. So and I think that's one of the most detrimental parts, is that you're so focused on other things that you forget that you have something to achieve and that you're working on yourself.
So I find meditation pretty much everything I do nowadays. And when I say that, I mean I actually engorge myself in what's currently going on in the moment. So such as right now, we're involved in this deep conversation. This is a meditation to me. But what I actually do in the morning is I sit quiet. I try to get up before the rest of my family, and I will wake up. I do 3 things. Number 1, I become really grateful and think about all the great things that I have.
Yes.
So be it my family, our friends, our community, everything, the business that we have. Number 2 is I work to spend some point in that meditation to think about the things that I need to let go of. Any inhibitions, anything that may have angered me, that may have threw my character off, or that may have made people perceive to me as a different character or as an asshole or whatever it is. And I try to let go of that. And number 3 is I do a little bit of envisionment, of looking towards what I do want. So my goals, my inspirations, my timelines, exactly what you said. And sometimes it helps to be in a certain place to do that.
Yeah.
So like quite often, Carl and I would drive by the most affluent areas of the city and beyond, or just to feel like what it's like to be there, to already live it, to kind of envision more, to push yourself harder.
Yeah, something to attach your mind visually, like right there. Yeah, and it helps better than like just on a phone or a picture. Like to actually be there physically.
To be there physically,
and see it.
Because what happens, guys, is the next thing after attaching your mind to it is you start to feel it, and when you feel it, you become it.
Yes.
That's exactly, it's so true. Once you start attaching an emotion to something, think about an angry person. I got cut off in the morning. Now I'm going to carry with me some anger into the office. Okay? My boss pushed me a little too much this morning because I was already angry. Now I'm angry at that.
Yep.
Guess what the rest of my day is going to be like? My coffee is going to spill on myself. I'm going to be angry about that. Elevator took too long. Train got delayed. And then next thing you know, you're like, man, all these things happened to me.
That's actually part of the brain called your reticular activating system, which actually we're going to talk about in another episode. But it's part of your brain that actually is wired for that. And that's why you kind of stay in that mindset. And that's why you start focusing on these negative things. It's actually part of your brain. And we'll teach you how to kind of help reverse that and use that to your advantage. So the other thing is with the power, I want to tell a quick story about the power of actually going to these affluent places and having the right mindset. We would always go to Bridle Path, and because we always love those mansions and stuff like that. And a year and a half later, when we started a business, I actually started training a multi-billionaire that lived there. So that's the craziest part of this whole thing. Like, you don't know what you attract in the universe, and after that experience, the things that I learned that I shared with Christian and everything from that person, helped significantly grow our business. So it is powerful. So
I guess to sum up number 3 is you really focus on improving yourself daily, developing yourself, learn new things every day, get out there, meet new people. And I'm not talking about mingling at a bar or whatever. I'm saying get out there, do different things, like
And talk to different types of people.
Different types of people.
Dude, we do that all the time.
All types of people.
Genuinely be interested in other people and other people's lives, because if you focus so much on this social media life,
yes,
you start losing perspective of what real people are and how their stories are. And, you know, you don't have to be super sexy or super rich to find, you know, those type of people are fine, but there's actually amazing stories of regular people doing amazing things, and they're not showing this shit. So, you know, you'll start gaining better perspective and having a more worldly perspective.
You're going to be a lot more connected to more versatile to types of people, right?
Yeah, man.
Your world is going to become that much more interesting and intricate because take like a couple of years ago, I came back into jiu-jitsu, and with that usually comes a Muay Thai gym, and that world opened up to me.
Oh, yeah.
And next thing you know, the clients coming in were from all those places.
Yeah, man.
So I have a full roster of people I train or actually just treat of all jiu-jitsu, MMA, and now I have a wealth of knowledge that's in front of me all the time.
I mean, and people ask all the time, like, how did you guys do this? Like a fitness facility and you know, different, like doing different types of training, and then the therapy, the clinic, chiro, physio, all that stuff. It's like, yo, because we were students, man. Like, yo, we actually were curious. We always went out and asked, trying to learn different things, trying to get a perspective on, you know, different treatment and put ourselves through it. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's why we were able to authentically develop this with it on our own, because we've been through this our whole lives.
And talking about authentic, I think number 4 would be having authentic people to look up to.
Yes.
To look after you or to help you out as a mentor or whatever it may be.
Developing that filter to filter out the bullshit is important.
Because remember, there's everybody that's in either an Instagram or a Facebook star these days. There's all kinds of people that'll feed you bullshit, that'll have you, you know, allow that put themselves out there, and give you a false sense of them.
Even in real life, right?
Even in real life, you know the type of people. Social media.
Yeah, when you meet them right away, they talk about the successes and what they've achieved, and they try to
what they have and how much they have, and how, you know, the attention.
We get it all the time. Yeah.
We get it all the time. You have to learn to filter that out, because I'll tell you, the ones that are really doing stuff don't talk because they don't have the time to talk. They don't have the time to create these stories in their head, to tell people, to conjure up, to, you know, these lies and all that stuff. They don't have that space in their brain.
And I want to put this in perspective for you guys. And I keep saying this all the time, but I want you to remind you this. We're entrepreneurs, right? Our business is really successful right now. You know, it's making, you know, millions of dollars a year, but I drive a 2001 Honda Civic, purple Honda Civic that's rusted, 4 doors.
Smashed in Volkswagen Jetta that was given to him.
I bought my car for $1,500 because my old car broke down. And $1,500 that I got from this business, and that was the best thing. That was the most memorable thing in my life. That $1,500, I was able to pay $1,500 from a business to buy a car from a business that we developed by ourselves. And anyone who owns a business or runs a business, who's developed a business by themselves, you could appreciate this. Like, holy shit, I can now take the money that I've earned from something I created and buy something for myself.
Yes.
So, and why am I telling you this? Because, we could very well pay ourselves a shitload of money right now. But we chose not to do that, and develop and grow this business. Develop our people, make sure they're good, make sure they're happy, and make sure put all the infrastructure back into this business so we could scale it to multiple locations. And that's the better move. Your car that you're going to buy to show off to people is devaluing, first of all. Yes, you could write it off as a business expense, but you're killing that cash flow right now that you could develop other things and grow your business. Your business is going to grow 100x. Your car is not. Your Rolex is not. Your dress shirt and your, all these outings that you want to, surround yourself with, and all the women that you purchase things for is not going to give you the value that you actually need if your vision is to grow as a real entrepreneur, right? So, there are real people and real businesses that are making a lot of money who they're putting back into the business. Your business is more valuable right now in the starting stage than your personal net worth. That comes later.
I think on the last, as a final piece of advice, the 5th thing would be write down every morning the things that you're grateful for and the things that you actually want to attain.
Amen.
And be realistic. Put some timelines on that shit. Because what happens now is you attach a meaning to things. You create a why. And with the why comes, again, the attachment of the emotion as to how would it feel like if I was to attain this? How would it be like to be fit? How would it be like to be financially free? The feeling of freedom, of that sigh of relief starts to become, and now you function from a place deep down that is one of passion, that is one of heart, that is one of love, and one where you can truly create things where you envision your life to be at. And from there, you will reap all the rewards that you've always thought you had. But this can only happen if you let go of all the inhibitions that you have right now.
To live life in the frame of instead of not having and start giving is the most powerful thing you could ever experience, and it'll give you purpose, because ultimately, the secret of living is giving. So we want you to be able to experience that. You deserve to experience that. You just have to work on it and follow these things so you can experience that.
The most valuable thing and why we exist, the reason why we do things, the reason why there's receptionists and there's managers and there's salespeople, it's to serve others, essentially. When you feel a sense of accomplishment through your work, through your daily life, because you're serving others, you're helping somebody, you're inspiring someone, that's success. That's success. You can't get any better definition of that, because I guarantee you successful people have that feeling. And if you don't have that feeling, then how successful really are you? Because you're always going to be shooting for the next thing.